the vibe. Welcome to Easy Weekend.
It's Easy Weekends.
Now shout out EmEz and tune in to the sit down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sit down. I'm here. We back at it again. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I got a newborn. I got to get this paper up. You know what I mean? She got EmEz, and this afternoon, our power couple across from me this afternoon is Tony Delgado and Gabriella Barospi.
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure I said it correctly. How are you guys doing this afternoon?
Amazing, man. Thank you so much for having us.
No, thank you for coming. I hear a lot of good things about the movement and the things that you're doing down on Wall Street and overseas, correct?
Yes.
You want to talk to me about that?
Yes, so we created a Latino Wall Street movement where we educate and empower our Hispanic community to learn stock market trading strategies, both long-term and short-term. We realized it was an empty industry. Nobody was really taking a stand for our community. So we said, we have two options. We can either observe how they're getting left out, or we can take action and do something about it.
Okay, so when you finally decided to take action, what was some of the troubles you guys were finding?
So the obstacles, I always thought it would be the fact that I was a woman in the finance industry and the fact that I was Hispanic. So it's, obviously a minority, but that actually ended up playing in my favor because my audience is 90% Hispanic women. So they actually trusted me and related to me. So those things that normally tend to play against you played in my favor. Okay, so before we continue, can we get a little history about how you've been doing in finance and how you got into it? Yeah, so I started when I was extremely young. I went to NYU. I moved to Manhattan when I was 18. So I used to live walking distance to Wall Street. So I learned stock market trading since a very, very young age, like literally as a teenager, because of the circle I surrounded myself with. So in the beginning, it was just, learning on my own as a student. Then I became to take all the courses, the studies, and specializes in options trading specifically. And once I learned, I was doing it on my own for myself. And recently, well, not recently, but about a year ago, we decided there's so much potential in an empty industry in a community where you can actually educate and empower them.
And Tony, how do you factor into this whole situation?
So, besides being the lucky man that's gonna marry her one day, don't tell her that. So, I was up here on Honey's show about a year ago and talking about my movement out in Puerto Rico. So when Hurricane Maria struck the island of Puerto Rico, we went down there, we did some humanitarian work, and then we started an entrepreneurial movement out there. And again, focusing on a similar issue, which is creating financial freedom and economic stability down in Puerto Rico. I went town to town, city to city, knocking on people's doors, and I was giving them one case of water, but I want people to have water for the rest of their lives. And the way to do that is not by looking for Trump's help. It's not from looking for a teacher necessarily in a public school, not looking for a governor or a mayor. It's by us uplifting ourselves, right? And so we started this entrepreneurial movement called Disrupt, and we're working on building a school down in Puerto Rico called Disrupt University. So that's when me and Gaby's paths crossed.
Gotcha.
And at that point in time, my mission was to empower the 3.5 million people in Puerto Rico. But then when our paths crossed, that mission got bigger, and now I'm focused on the 400 million people in Latin America.
What are some of the celebrities or important people that have reached out to you that want to be a part of this movement so far?
Yeah, I mean, we've collaborated with a lot of really huge people, both in the Latin space and then really just in the general entrepreneurial space. People like Grant Cardone, we were actually just hanging out with him at the gym the other day. Yeah. Ty Lopez, and then the Latin community, she's collaborated with some really cool people too. She was just on Univision.
Yeah, I was in Univision. I have a big Hispanic influencer. His nickname, or how people know him, is Nutriyermo. He's basically the most famous doctor in the Hispanic community, who is all about empowering people. He's not like your usual PhD type of intimidating guy. He's all about contributing, educating people, and empowering them, and it's very big in the personal development industry as well. So he's the one who promoted me because he really believed in what I was doing, and a huge part of his audience came to me and is now part of the movement.
Yeah, so he had a huge movement that was focused around health, and her movement was focused around wealth. So those two things kind of run parallel, because if you don't have one, what good is the other?
You guys have the school called Disrupt, right?
Disrupt University.
Disrupt University. People don't like disruptive people. What are some of the pushback you've been getting from people that have been in Wall Street and doing this for a long time?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the top 10 richest people in the world, you're gonna find two things in common, right? One thing is they're Caucasian, and the second thing is that they're dudes. It's a bunch of old white dudes, right?
Yes.
So what I love about what me and Gabriella is doing is we're empowering like stay-at-home moms. Like a lot of the people in her community are women that are saving their money. But one of the things that you don't realize, even if you're saving your money, if you're putting it in the bank, year after year, how much your savings is worth actually goes down. So money actually depreciates in value, similar to
Like
as
a
if
car.
you bought a car or something. Your money is actually depreciating in value as the government prints more money and as the economy changes. So the only way to create financial freedom, the only way to create longevity is by investing in the stock market. And Warren Buffett, who's the number one rich dude when you think about Warren Buffett, the way that he was able to build his wealth was because he put it into companies. And if you look at the history of the stock market, it just traditionally goes up. But the problem is in our communities, there's no education around that. So even the most responsible person, if they're taking all their money that they can save and they're putting it in a savings account, 10, 20 years, they think they're going to leave their children something. But you guys know this. $10,000 20 years ago was a lot of money. $10,000 today is nothing. It goes like that.
Yeah.
But if you put it in the stock market, it's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot.
Yeah.
So she has clients that, have invested a few thousand and been able to multiply it 2 or 3 times or even more
In a few
within a
months.
year,
Yeah.
within a few months.
Wow.
Yeah, because there are shares, there are companies. For example, Roku is a famous media company. That stock, once I started getting out there in social media, I was talking about it, and a lot of people were just buying the shares, not even trading, all this advanced stuff, just buying shares. Period. End of story. You can do it in 2 minutes, and it was $50 a share. Now the stock is $150. So literally,
Less
all
than a
you
year.
did was buy shares for $50 each for whatever money you had, right? I had students buying a couple shares. So you can start with any amount of money. Today, after a few months, it hasn't even been a year yet, you would have tripled your funds.
That's funny. I was having a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine, and he was telling me to get on Uber stock now. Because he said it's at 27 or 29 right now.
Yeah, it just
He
went
goes, he said, I promise you by the end of the week, you'll be at 50. Because
Yeah.
Uber, they went through this whole bad spell where they went down and now they're going up. He was like, this is the time to buy. So that's so funny we're having this conversation now. Is there any other tips you would give someone that's looking into the stocks?
Well, so she's way more advanced than I am, right? But from working with her, the thing that I realized is invest in the stuff that you know. The number one thing that I would encourage someone to invest in is something that you're already using. So like Apple, right? How many people spend $1,000 on an iPhone every year? Now, if you spend $1,000 on this iPhone, a year from now, when you try to go and sell it, how much are you going to get back? Maybe $500, right? But if you bought $1,000 worth of Apple stock, a year from now it could be worth $2,000. So I say instead of just being a consumer, invest in the products and services that you already use, right? Another one is Disney, right? So you have your newborn kid, right?
Yep, we got Disney Plus at the house. I've already
Yeah.
bought it. I paid for it. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly. That stock exploded as well. We got in before Disney Plus strategically because we knew that would bring a lot of money to the company, and the stock exploded. So we're able to multiply our money too.
That's crazy.
So it's just basic things. People find it intimidating. They find it complicated. But I'm just like, look, when I sit down with someone who's a beginner, I'm just like, what do you spend money on? Those most likely are public companies like Visa, like Apple, like Disney. Just invest in shares. Don't even do trading. That's more advanced. But just invest your money so you can benefit in all the billions of dollars they're making instead of just giving them your money.
Is there like a, how would I say this? Like a stock class for dummies? Per se, because I couldn't tell you anything about a stock, but I need to get into it. Is there a fast way to learning how to do stocks?
Yeah, so I actually have a trading 101 class and course, and I also do one-on-one sessions where I literally bring apples and I teach people. Like I've taught kids how to trade because I think this education is so important, and I teach it through metaphors and through like really funny examples, just so like they're learning the basics. And if they are really interested in getting into something, we'll come up with some like specific examples.
What about penny stocks? Or penny trading? What is that? What's the difference between that and the big stocks?
Yeah, so I always suggest stick to the winners. You don't want to buy something that Wall Street is not supporting. If something is worth a penny, it's probably not a good idea. You want to stick to Apple, to Visa, to the companies that have already dominated us and the whole world. How do we know? Because just look around. You go to China, you go to US, you go to Peru. Everyone is using these companies, giving them their money. So why wouldn't you want to be on their side rather than some penny stock that can disappear?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, and I think the thing that she teaches too is like using stocks as a place to park your money, right? So instead of parking your money and putting it under your mattress where it could get stolen, or park your money in a bank where it's going to get taxed and where it's going to depreciate, park your money in Uber. Uber's not going anywhere.
Nope.
Right? And now that nest egg that you put into Uber, as Uber grows as a company, as Apple grows as a company, as these things that you're already using, you're using Uber every day, you're using your iPhone every day. As these companies evolve, you'll be able to partake in the benefits.
Yeah.
Now, is there an app that you guys are working on or anything like that we need to know about?
So an app that we are working on specifically.
Yeah.
So we don't do apps. We do courses and classes
Okay.
and seminars, but we do use apps that we recommend people. For example, Robinhood.
Yeah. So the number one app that I recommend for somebody like yourself, it's like, hey, I want to see what's going on. You download Robinhood. It's a free app. If you sign up with a friend's code, like if I text you the code right now, we'll both get a free stock, so it's fun.
Okay.
And that will show you a little bit of news about each company. So you go in there, Tesla just released that weird looking truck, right?
With the windows that broke
With
or
the
whatever?
windows that broke, right? So what happened when that happened, when the windows broke, stock went down. So as soon as the stock goes down, you know it's going to go back up.
It has to.
So you buy it. You buy it when the stocks go down, and you sell them when they go up, or you hold on to them. If you believe in Tesla and that company, you just hold on to it as a long-term investment. And I think one of the problems that people will do is they'll put the money in that they know that they need to use next week. That's not what it's really for. You're supposed to be parking your money.
Yeah.
So
You're not supposed to be using money that you're paying bills with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's investing, right? So like any investment you'll ever do, you want to put money that you're thinking about for your future. Can you get lucky and can it double next week, next month, like when Disney Plus launched? Sure, but I don't like to for people to come with those expectations. I just make them think big and focus on long term.
And it's more about like education and like creating generational wealth, right?
Yes.
Like you just had a newborn.
Yeah, we're trying to get that bread.
So teaching your child now how to save. Our other business partner, his name's Alan. He's from Mexico, hedge fund manager. Started trading when he was a teenager. Started trading Amazon stock when he was
13.
young. At 13. Just
When
playing
Amazon
around.
was $10.
And now he's been able to become a multimillionaire because he was playing around with stocks when he was a kid, right? So how can we not only teach our generation, but now how can we start teaching our kids so that they're set up for life?
Yeah.
If you start investing when you're 18, you can retire by the time you're 30. But
See-
most people aren't doing that.
Yeah, no. See, I grew up. My mom. Well, I'm Haitian, and my mother was someone that hid financial things from me. She never taught me how to write a check or save certain things. I was financially retarded for a lot of time in my life. Yeah. Now, are you running into that kind of problem in the Latin community?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that I run into, some people are educated in finances, some people aren't in various degrees, but there is an underlying tone that money is bad, right? And I think that's not only in the Latin community, I think that's in all communities, right? Money is bad, and especially like people that are middle class and below.
Yes.
And if you think money is bad, then why are you going to accumulate any of it, right? It's this evil thing. But when you realize money is just a tool, right? A hammer isn't bad. If I build a house for a homeless person, a hammer's a really good thing. If I go around chasing people and hitting them with it, then a hammer's a bad thing. So money, just like anything else, it's a tool, it's an instrument. If you want to have a nonprofit and you want to help people, you need money. You need to raise money for those things. So I think the biggest barrier, the biggest limiting belief that we have to dispel is the fact that money is bad. Money's not bad, it's just a tool. And then, it comes back to education. That's why we started our company. So when I met Gaby, her name was Gaby Wall Street on Instagram. You can that's her name. You can go follow her. And she was doing one-on-one coaching. And she was helping people, but she was maxed out. All these people from the Latin community, we want to learn, we want to learn, we want to learn. So she was doing these one-on-one coaching sessions. And then when we connected, she said, I want to release a course. I want to be able to scale my knowledge and put it into a course that people can consume online. So now we have a program, and for pretty much the same price that it used to cost for one-on-one coaching session for 1 hour, you can get like 50 hours of content of her, not only her, but some of our other experts, including Alan, who's a multi-millionaire hedge fund manager from Mexico. We have Randy and Daniela and Alexa from Panama and
Canada. Yeah.
and she's in Canada, but where's she from
Venezuela.
before that? Well,
Yeah.
from Venezuela.
So very inspiring people.
So we have
really.
this whole community of people that you can learn from, and it's like 50 hours of content that is the same price as 1 hour of content.
Wow.
And it's allowed us to be able to scale. Now we have hundreds and hundreds of students from all around Latin America, from all around the United States, Miami, New York, Chicago, California, like you name it. And people are learning. They're getting results. And not only that, but their kids are learning. Like we have students that are in high
course.
school.
Yeah, I also have a kids course, and for me, it's just the most important.
I might have to take the kids course.
Love
That's
it.
more my speed.
It's so important, just to raise awareness and educate people. That's always my main goal. Alan is my favorite story. He started investing when Amazon was $10 a share. When he was
Jesus
13.
Christ, he's rich.
Now it's $2,000 a
Jesus
share.
Christ, he's fucking
And
loaded.
he became a millionaire just from Amazon. So that's what I tell people. Look, there's going to be the next Amazon. There's going to be the next.
Yeah, how do we
Visa.
find that,
There's gonna-
though?
That's what the education will empower you to do, to learn how to analyze these companies. That's what I teach. How do you do the analysis? How do you predict? There's a lot of technical analysis, a little bit more advanced, so that you're able to choose and say, you know what, this is the next star. I'm going to go for it.
I want to invest in the XFL. It's going to be the new football league, and I'm pretty sure I can get in now because it's not really expensive. That's the one I'm looking at. Don't go and flood the fucking XFL shit, though. I'm trying to figure some shit out. But is there any stocks we should be on the lookout for that you guys want to give a tip to somebody?
All I'm going to say about that would be just think about what you use the most. Maybe you have all the Apple products. If that's the case, I recommend you buy Apple shares. Why not? It's a very, very stable stock. Some people are like, well, what if I lose money? That's what most people are scared of about the stock market. I'm like, you know how you lose money with Apple shares? If Apple goes out of business and goes bankrupt. That's when you will lose money. But what are the chances, let's be realistic, that Apple's going to go out of business?
I mean, people said that about Blockbuster.
Right.
Blockbuster's gone.
Right. At the same time, though, when we look at the actual facts, the actual documents and how they're doing, we don't see any red flags at all. With other companies, if you look at their documents, and you can do all of this through Yahoo Finance, right? You can access like how much money they're doing, how much they're growing. But if a company keeps growing and you have the evidence for that, it's not based on an opinion, like we have actual evidence and facts, then you can feel confident to invest in that company. Now, if you see a decline or something beyond those lines, like nobody goes out of business just randomly, like, hi, I'm out of business. No, there are red flags that come along with it.
Absolutely.
Well, I think another thing too would be index funds, right? And I know like 5 minutes worth of stock trading knowledge, but index funds are really cool because it's the top companies that are chosen by people that are like way smarter than you, right? So you can invest in an index fund, and then when a company starts doing bad, they kick them out. So, and you don't have to do anything. So you just buy the index fund. When a company starts doing bad, they kick them out of the club, and it'll be the top 30 companies, the top 500 companies, etc. Or if you're just looking for really cool stocks to invest in, you can go into the fund and see what are the top 30 companies in this fund. What are the top 500
Dow
companies?
30. Yeah, I suggest everyone Google Dow 30 stocks and look at the top 30 companies in the stock market. Those are the top, just like billboards, all this stuff. You always have the top, right? The Dow 30 are the top 30 companies, and they will be obvious to you because you'll be like, well, of course, these are the top companies because we all give them our money. So why not just go on the other side and start benefiting from them?
Yeah, but statistically, on average, the stock market's gone up for the last like 50 to 100 years, right? For as long as the stock market's been around, it just continues to go up. And Warren Buffett, there's a quote that I heard from him a few years ago, and he was like, betting against the stock market is basically just betting against human civilization. Like that's every company, right?
Yeah.
So if every company goes bankrupt, then you have other problems. Like,
Yeah. The world's all fucked up.
Yeah, the world's
It's
over.
to sit down and we're here hanging out. What's the least amount of money I can invest and make some money on?
The least amount would be buying one single share. So literally, there's no rule that tells you have to buy X amount of shares, right? If you just want to invest, you can literally buy one share. Depends what company, though. If you're dealing with rockstar companies like Apple, Visa, MasterCard, Disney, they're going to be over $100 a share because that's considered expensive in the stock market. When a share is 100, 200, that's considered expensive. There are other companies that are $20, $30. Of course, they're not going to be Apple, Visa, MasterCard, but they're companies that if you look at their documents and you based it on evidence, not an opinion, then they can be really good investments. So, for example, like I said, with Roku, it was $50. A share a few months ago. Now it's 150, and how did we predict that? It's actually very obvious. It's in front of us. We just have to look a little closer. They launched a contract with Disney Plus, that they were going to be in their platform. So once they said that, the demand, it was insane. Like basically everyone got in because they were like, if you are like a random person and some Hollywood celebrity start saying like they're gonna bring you in to start, like automatically the eyes are gonna be on you. So it's the same thing with these companies that are not like superstars. If a superstar says they're gonna do business with them or buy them or a contract with them or give them that type of exposure, then you want to open your eyes and do your research to see if you want to get in.
Yeah, but as long as you're investing in really good companies, the only way to lose money is if you sell it when it's down. And one of the biggest rookie mistakes, and I've made it before, is you buy something, it goes down a little bit, and you get scared and you sell it, right? And the thing is, it goes up and down, but as a trend, it goes up and down and it goes up. So, like, Uber is a great example. Like, you might buy Uber today, and I saw it was like at 29. It was at 28, then it was at 29. So if you buy it at 29, and it goes down to 26, and you get scared and you sell it, yeah, you're going to lose money. Yeah. But if you wait and you have a little bit of patience, you have a little bit of a stomach to say, oh, it's down, but I'm going to
see this through.
Yeah, I'm going to see this through. In a year from now, it's going to be up. And it's probably going to be up double.
Wow. Listen, we could talk. This has been an eye-opening experience for me. I'm about to go spend some money on some stocks. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you. Now, let them know how to be a part of the course if they wanted to come see you guys in any way, shape, or form, like whether it's online, Instagram. Let them know how to be a part of the wave and be financially dependent.
Yeah, we have a website, latinowallstreet.com. I also have Instagram, it's Gaby Wall Street, so they can reach out to me through there. I'm very responsive. I'm always in touch with everyone, so I can answer any questions they have. And we have every level, right? We have Trading 101, we have a kids course, we have intermediate level, advanced level. So don't feel like you have to know something to come in. I work with beginners all the time. And also, if you feel like you know the decent amount, there are also advanced courses for that.
Yeah, and we also have some free courses on there too. So there's some free webinars that you can go and you can hop on. And we're also starting a Latin American tour. So we have events coming up in Puerto Rico, in Dominican Republic, in Peru, in Colombia. There's actually an event going on right now in Panama. So if you're in any country in Latin America and you want us to come, hit her Instagram at Gaby Wall Street. And if you guys want to follow me and all the crazy fun stuff I do, hit my Instagram at Disrupt CEO.
I appreciate you guys for coming. I think what you guys are doing is an amazing service for the community. And I think if just even a handful of people just learn how to be financially dependent, it's an amazing thing for the world. Exactly. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. Just sit down. Come and catch the vibe. Welcome to Easy Weekend.
It's Easy Weekends.
Now shout out EmEz and tune in to the sit down.